Audience scores for the new live action One Piece series seems to do pretty well. I mean, as you can see, it's around a 96%. I mean, even the critics give it a decent enough score, assuming that those aren't box scores. But yeah, I mean, audiences are mostly favorable for this, but the question is also whether this is going to be enough to continue with the series. I got this article right here pulled up from Variety. It says One Piece producers say script for season 2 are ready. Episodes could air 12 to 18 months after strike ends. So jumping down into the article, on the heels of its splashy debut, the producers behind Netflix's One Piece say scripts for a possible season 2 are completed and that the next season could be ready to air in a year once productions is able to begin. We've got scripts ready. Marty Alstein, CEO of Tomorrow Studios, which produced the live-action One Piece in partnership with manga creator Ishiro Oda and publisher Seisha, told Variety Thursday. Though productions on a potential second season would not be able to begin until after the SAG strike against the AMPTP has been resolved, Tomorrow Studios president Becky Clemens says once they're allowed to get going again, season 2 could launch as early as next year, which is good news for people who actually like this. But I mean, it's also assuming that Netflix renews it for a second season or maybe even a second and third season. Who knows? Well, Netflix has already touted the success of One Piece's season 1 launch on its weekly top 10 list, where it came in at number 1 on the English language TV series after its first 4 days of availability with 18.5 million views. Word on a season 2 renewal has not yet arrived, but Adelstein and Clemens say all signs point to a pickup at the moment. Okay, yeah, so they're saying they're being optimistic about this, but like I said, we don't know whether it's actually going to get picked up, because even though it's really popular right now amongst the people who watched it, we don't know what that demographic actually is. I mean, because I've said this before with other movies that did well but bombed at the box office, because sometimes certain properties are really popular, but they spend it requires too much money to be as successful as what it is. I mean, this One Piece show was actually pretty expensive, or it had a high budget per episode, and it's just a matter of like, okay, the people who watched it loved it, but the people who watch it is not a big enough market for Netflix to actually justify it. And that's where we're getting to this article right here. So One Piece's Netflix viewership indicates next week as pivotal for series future. And yeah, because the second week drop is always an important factor of whether something is successful, because even though it's popular its first week, is that just a small segment of the fan base? Like right here, it's saying it got 18.5 million views within that first week. It's like, well, yeah, but is that just the fan base of One Piece? Because it's a popular manga, popular anime. There's a built-in fan base to that. So, and that's probably what this article suggests, is a lot of this is probably just those people coming to watch the show. But is it going to bring any new people to it? And that's kind of what they need. I mean, current trajectories indicate that that's what's happening. Or new people are going to come into the show, and better yet for Netflix, there's also the One Piece anime on the platform. So if that matches this current trajectory going up, and especially also if we see a spike in the anime version, then maybe they will renew it for another season. But again, this week is critical, because if there's a huge drop off in the viewership numbers, we don't know what's going to happen. The numbers disclosed on Netflix official website reveal that the One Piece live action series has accumulated 140 million hours of watch time and 18.5 million views. So we got that graphic right here, and it even has this one point out where Wednesday season 1 fits that had 341 million minutes, watch hours, excuse me, where Stranger Things season 4 had 287 million watch hours, and One Piece has 140 million watch hours, which puts it at their number 11 spot, which I think is pretty good. But you got to keep in mind Stranger Things, that's season 4, and Wednesday, I think that's a more apt comparison, because this was built off of an existing IP, but it was also the first season similar to One Piece. So that's obviously Wednesday did quite a bit better than that. But I mean, also this is more accessible to English speaking audiences, because even though One Piece is the most popular manga and anime in the world, in a lot of Western countries, it's not nearly as popular. So you got to understand that. I mean, it's popular amongst anime fans, but not necessarily the general audiences, not like Wednesday and the Addams Family is. So you got to take that. So you got to take that into consideration when you're looking at these numbers. But still, I mean, 140 million watch hours is pretty good for its opening week. But like I said, is that going to be enough to actually move the needle? This article does talk about how Netflix obviously has certain numbers in mind that they want to see, and there could be, we could see that reached during this next week if there's actually a good increase in viewership to this show. Right now, this talks about a little bit more about that. So the coming week could be a make or break moment for One Piece. While the One Piece live action series has been a smash hit within the anime and manga community, Netflix has yet to break its silence on the show's renewal prospects. Several factors could be contributing to the retentions. One significant issue might be the ongoing writer strike. So yeah, we talked about that, but they already said once that's over that they can get started with production. So maybe that, I don't really see that as a huge factor for this. The high production costs, so over $70 million per episode. Yeah, that's, I think the contributing factor to this is whether the audience that's coming to see this is significant enough to justify that cost to it. And maybe Netflix sees it as a benefit, or maybe not. I mean, who knows? To justify such an investment, the streaming giant needs to see a specific viewership number, and reinforcing the idea that the upcoming week is pivotal for the show's future. Yeah, and it's like I said, we don't know what Netflix needs to see for viewership for the show in order to justify a second season, but I mean, they have their numbers, they have it in mind, and right now they haven't revealed whether they're going to do it or not. So, I mean, it's obvious that it's actually at least not bad news so far, because I think we would have known already if it's just like this isn't going to happen. But so far, so good for the show. I mean, it's just, but it still is kind of a wait and see. And even if it looks pretty obvious that they're going to make another season, a lot of times they'll kind of hold off on announcing that. I mean, maybe sometimes they announce like, yeah, we're renewing it for a couple seasons, like right from the get-go, but they haven't done it with this. So it is just a wait and see. The series has already garnered an impressive, but it's so yeah, just kind of talking about the numbers here. So yeah, I mean, that's really what it is, but I would like to see another season with this, because I like what they did with the first season, and I think it was a faithful adaptation. And if it does bring more people to the anime, which is what I think the ultimate goal of it was, then I believe it does have the potential. Like, I know anecdotal cases of people who watch this who are now interested in watching the anime or reading the manga, which is like, yeah, fantastic. Because I highly recommend it. I think I even said that in my review, that if you like the show, then you should check out the anime. But I don't know if this is going to be enough, but I am kind of watching the numbers on this and seeing what happens, because I am curious about whether they're going to make a second season and what they're going to do with that. But let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below. And if you like this video, make sure you click the like button, share the video, and subscribe to the channel if you want to stay up to date with the latest news. Thank you.